Oh man, could this be the piece of data which finally allows Bitcoin to break through this tough 29,000 level? This green line here is that 29k level which we've been struggling to break here on the hourly chart for Bitcoin. We know if we can clear this level, it could suggest a big explosive move into the 30s on Bitcoin. We've just had the PCE data come in with a huge triple beat. Yes, a beat on all of these. Remember, the PCE is the Fed's preferred gauge of inflation. We're going to take a look at the initial market reaction. You can see the market is still pricing in 25 base point rate hike, but it's going to give them comfort here in the June meeting, the meeting after, that hopefully we see a pause. You can see 53% of the market are expecting 25 base point in the May meeting and then a pause at the June meeting, which is going to be a huge moment when we finally get that pivot where we stop tightening rates and start focusing on a plan to loosen them back up again. Remember, that is what Bitcoin relies on. It's that liquidity which we need to see in this market. Let's take a look at the PCE figures to understand exactly how they came in. So if you're looking at the core PCE figure, which is one of the most important ones, you got 4.6% versus the previous 4.7. So you can see this notching down slightly here. That's lower than expectations as well, which is very good. If we take a look at the headline figure, that came in at 5 versus 5.3 previous and about 5.1 expected. So again, very good. And even on the month-on-month figure, if you take a look at the month-on-month figure, you can see that this came in at 0.3 versus the previous 0.6, guys. That's a huge thing because the 0.6, if you take that and you analyze that, that's 7.2% annualized inflation. Whereas when you're now running at 0.3 month over month, which is your latest data, right? So sometimes it's a bit confusing when you look at year-on-year figures. But the month-on-month tells you the speed that the economy is running at right now. So 0.3% annualized is 3.6% inflation, which is a much better figure for us to see. So markets are going to respond positively to this. What we can see on Bitcoin is we are running into this key level. We've got to look for this. But what have we created? What do you notice straight away? We have managed to create a very important higher low. See this low? It's higher than the previous one. This is a higher low. This is very good. It helps us maintain this subtrend. It makes it less likely that we need to retrace to the orange line there, which is your 26k level. And now we can try mount an attack back up here at that all-important 29,000 level. Let's also take a look at a few of the other variants. In fact, so let's take a look at this on the 4-hourly. You can see exactly what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get a nice attempt back here at this level. Can we break above it, retest on the backside, and then work our way up towards 30 and do the same there? Retest 30 and keep moving our way up. That's what we want here on Bitcoin right now. If we take a look at the EMA ribbon, because we also want to see what that brings us, you can see, look at where we're getting that bounce. You're getting it right on the EMA ribbon, which is no coincidence. So the EMA ribbon is thankfully holding as important support. Previously, we broke it briefly, then we took it back again. It's now holding as support. So that's very, very important here on the Bitcoin price as well. Let's now switch this up to the daily. And what you'll notice here on the daily chart, bringing out the EMA ribbon again, is, let's just bring that up daily. Where's that daily EMA ribbon? Let it load up. There we go. So what we got here on the daily EMA ribbon is you can see we're still super extended. Okay, we're nicely extended away from our daily EMA ribbon. We got plenty of space. We've been consolidating sideways, and now it's following behind us. So if we wanted to come down to 26.7k, that's perfectly fine. And now the beautiful thing is, even if we wanted to test this EMA ribbon into the depths, all the way down to 25, which sounds crazy given where we're at right now, it's perfectly healthy. It's perfectly fine. So we're managing to lock in some really important levels here on Bitcoin as we move along. Let's also take a look here at, I do want to show you a very important pattern as well. Let's take a look at this one. And this one is our channel, right? So you could see we were forming this channel, this upward channel, and we broke to the upside of it. And now what we're doing is we're holding it as support. Very important that we're able to hold this on support. Similar to the pattern I was showing previously, if we can break above 29k, that would have proven that we've held this level of support and we're ready for our next leg to the upside. Similarly, if we take the other chart which we're looking at, you can see here we're still in our very important bull flag formation here on the daily chart. Okay, so you can see this playing out on the daily chart, but if I zoom down to the 4-hourly chart, you can see it a lot clearer, right? We moved from the bottom all the way to the top of the flag, from the bottom all the way to the top of the flag, now pulling back, creating a higher low, which is brilliant, and now we need to go mount an attack again, and hopefully this time break that 29,000 level. But what have we got now? On our side, we finally have that the data is showing us a trend in the right direction. This is huge. Remember, the whole premise around this is Bitcoin has been unhappy over the last 18 months leading into 2023 because the Fed are not our friends. The Fed are tightening policy. So we always knew when we get this notion that inflation is starting to cool down, when we can see that the Fed have a plan to not only stop the rate hikes, but eventually start cutting them again, that is when Bitcoin's really going to go on a crazy run. And that's what we're looking forward to now. So we can see inflation is coming in on the downside. That is a positive sign for Bitcoin. And that is why we can see positive movements here on this candle. Let's also take a look at Bitcoin dominance as well. And you can see Bitcoin dominance struggling here, which is interesting. So we knew here that this level is very difficult. Let's switch that to the daily so you can see. And this is a level of resistance that has been playing out for a very long time. It always respects this 48% line here on the Bitcoin dominance. And you can see we're struggling again here. Now, two things can happen. If we can break this level, Bitcoin's going to go on another crazy move and leave altcoins behind. If we get rejected here, which has happened every other single time, we could start to see a flow of money rotating across to altcoins. And that is why I always like to eat my veg and never get carried away with just altcoins, but at the same time, I don't want to be a Bitcoin maximalist personally, right? You guys, some of you may want to be Bitcoin maximalists. Personally, I want to be holding altcoins because when altcoins do explode, they move explosively. And that's why I want to make sure I've got a balanced, blended portfolio that when Bitcoin dominance is going high and Bitcoin is running, I've got plenty of exposure to Bitcoin. And that's going to do well in my portfolio. But equally, when Bitcoin dominance is going down, I want to look at my portfolio and go, you know what? I've got enough altcoins to benefit from that. Because trust me, there's no worse feeling than when it's altcoin season, Bitcoin is not moving as much, and these altcoins are absolutely exploding. That is why a balanced portfolio, plenty of Bitcoin, so Bitcoin can keep running and I can benefit from that, but also plenty of altcoins as well. Let's get a final check-in on the dollar index to see how that is reacting to this news. And so far, you can see here on the daily chart. Let's just see this on the daily chart. Let's just zoom in for you guys. Here we go. It is holding up a little bit green here on the day, but we are in this downward channel. If I put it down to the 4-hourly, you will see very clearly that dollar index is in a downward channel. So I would be expecting this to get rejected and start making another move to the downside, down towards 100, even heading down here to the bottom of the channel. Now, the reversed idea is, what if we get a breakout? If dollar index breaks out from here, this could signal a little bit of a painful period. So do watch out for that as well. If we do get a breakout, then that could look something like this. And that could spell a little bit of pain for crypto if it does that. So hopefully the pattern we do want is for us to continue to get rejected and keep our downtrend here on the dollar index. So there you have it, guys. A nice Friday with some very important macroeconomic data with the PCE inflation starting to come in line. And this is a really good sign for wider markets and for crypto. Let me know, what are you guys doing in this market? If you appreciate these updates, regardless of where I am, even here on my iPad, smash on likes, make sure you subscribe, go watch this video here, and I'll see you in the next one.